Hello everyone, this is MS Movie Recaps, and today I will talk about a movie called 8mm. This movie is pretty dark and disturbing, so viewer discretion is advised. Relax and enjoy this movie with me. This movie starts with a shot of our main character, Tom Wells. Tom is a very successful private investigator. He has a wife and a child, and you can say, very successful marriage. He is currently on assignment in Miami, where he investigates affair of Senator's son-in-law. Suddenly, he sees that industrial magnate died in the newspaper. When he comes back home, he greets his child and his wife. His wife accuses him of smoking, and he instantly gets defensive since he still hides his addiction. Next morning, he cleans his lawn from leaves and gets a call from someone named Mr. Longdale. He arranges meeting with him at 4 p.m. He drives to Mr. Longdale, who is residing in a big house. He meets the widow of dead industrial magnate, Mistress Christian, and she invites him into office of her deceased husband. Mistress Christian needs his skills as a private investigator because she found a weird and disturbing film reel in his safe box. As Mr. Longdale explains, it seems to be a snuff film, which is a big myth in pornographic filmography. Even with the knowledge, Miss Saw, Christian refuses to leave the film and urges Tom to investigate further. As Tom watches the tape, the scenes show a young girl seemingly under the influence in the shot. Tom is visibly distraught and disturbed. Suddenly, a big man walks into the scene and punches girl, which makes Tom physically react. Big man grabs a knife from the table and carries it to the girl. She is visibly distraught, and scene shows the bloody murder of the young girl. Film ends there, and as it seems authentic, Tom agrees to investigate further. He explains his terms and is walked out by Mr. Longdale. He goes back home and packs for the case. His wife disagrees on him leaving, and he reassures her, since it's a big case and it could potentially change their lives. He grabs his gun and equipment and leaves. He gets to Missing Persons Building, and he starts investigating. He speaks with the authorized person and lies about details to hide Mr. Christian identity, and masks it as a normal teenager runaway. He rents a room in motel and reanalyzes the film for additional details. He finds out company who made the film real, Superlux, but unfortunately the company is liquidated. Tom is very invested in this case and forgets to check in on his family. As he is looking through the missing persons files, he finds the girl. Her name is Mary Ann Matthews. He compares the pictures, and they're the same person. Tom goes to meet her mother, Janet, and she is working in a supermarket. They meet up later and talk about Mary Ann. It is obvious she isn't living lavish life, based on the house location and its looks. She explains the family dynamics to Tom, and she tells him about her boyfriend. Janet shows Tom Mary Ann's room, and when she leaves to get a drink, he looks through her stuff in hopes to find a diary or something that can maybe raise his chance at finding her. He goes to the bathroom and opens the toilet tank. He fortunately finds what he was looking for. As he is scrolling through the pages, he finds a ripped page. Mary Ann wrote that she left home because she wants to live with her boyfriend and go to Hollywood. Janet offers Tom the drink, and he lies about not finding anything. Next day, he goes to find Mary Ann's boyfriend and meets his father. Tom finds out he is in prison, so he goes to meet him. Tom asks him about Mary Ann, and it's obvious he hates her by the way he talks. He thinks that she is working at the strip club, based on his experience. Tom goes to meet Janet again, and they engage in conversation. He asks her if she wants to know if anything bad happened to Mary Ann, and she says that not only she wants to know, she needs to know. Tom excuses himself and takes Mary Ann's picture with him, leaving the diary for her mother to find. Tom leaves and goes to LA, precisely Hollywood. He goes to many casting agencies to no avail. One day, he goes to the Naughty Shop, and there he meets Max California. As they engage in a conversation, Tom sees similar mask to one that he saw on the film. He goes to his hotel room and calls few casting agency numbers. As he is talking to his wife, he is watching the film, and he saw one crucial detail, another person with them. Unfortunately, only person's back is visible, and Tom is bummed. He goes to Max again, and inquires about underground pornography and snuff films, and he offers him money for his help. Max accepts. We get into the perspective of someone in the car, and we see that Tom is being watched. Tom and Max go to underground pornography warehouse. Selling booths are set up like vendor stalls, but instead of food or clothing, they contain most depraved, violent, and illegal food for fetishists. Tom is visibly uncomfortable and out of place, but Max keeps him calm. Tom's focus is very sharp. He looks everywhere and gets into altercation with Latino gang. They get into real underground storage, smoky, disturbing place full of depraved people looking for their food. As Tom investigates, he is disturbed by the sight. He meets a seller, and he advertises porno beyond everything, as he explains sick stuff. As Tom asks about snuff, seller gets defensive and mad with him. Tom and Max finally leave and meet disturbing seller. They buy tapes from him and go to hotel room. As they watch tapes, they are both happy and annoyed that tapes aren't real. Tom leaves Max's house and investigates further. He goes to homeless sanctuary and meets priestess. She explains that Marianne lived there and suddenly didn't return one night. She shows him her suitcase, and he goes through her stuff. He finds a piece of paper, Mary's wish, and a couple of numbers. As he calls the numbers, he finds the casting agency that Mary had been to. Tom meets casting agency director. He is very rude to Tom, and he says that he doesn't know Mary Ann, but based on look on his face, he definitely knows her. He urges Tom to leave, but Tom isn't giving up that easily. He starts eavesdropping on casting agency from a nearby window. Tom plants a microphone in casting director's phone, hoping to catch him in the act. First few days, nothing interesting happens. Mostly porno addicts having complaints about his work. As Tom is eavesdropping, he finds out that casting director uses girls as his prostitutes. One night, he spies on director and follows him to his home. Tom sneaks into his backyard and is spotted by security, but leaves unseen by anyone else. Next day, as he watches him, he throws him the bait. He explains the film to director and accuses him of murdering young girl. Director obviously gets very anxious and does a very stupid thing. He calls someone and informs him that they have been found out. Tom finds out the number of the person director called. Max explains that man is Dino Velvet, depraved porno magnate making fetish movies. Max and Tom leave for New York and set up in a hotel. He gives Max an assignment. Find Dino Velvet's movies. He calls Ms. Christian and asks her to investigate her deceased husband's financial reports. She finds out a mysterious cash payments, totally equaling $1 million. Tom watches Dino's tapes and sees the big person he saw on girl's murder. Same tattoo, same mask, everything. He wakes up Max to ask him about that person. That is Machine, an animal Dino uses for most of his projects. Next day, Max and Tom leave and go to Dino Velvet's house. Tom acts like a fetishist, only there to give him money for anything depraved. When they enter his office, they are both shocked, but act like everything's normal. Tom says he is a fan of his work. Tom offers him $10,000 for making a film, on condition that he is there when Dino films, and he wants Machine as a main actor. Max and Tom hang out in a bar, and Tom gives Max an envelope full of cash and a plane ticket. Max is not very happy with the idea of leaving Tom, but Tom insists. Tom thanks him for everything and leaves. Next day, Tom arrives at a secluded location, which turns out to be a warehouse. He brings his gun with him, and with slow-paced steps he approaches. Warehouse is disturbing, and in the next scene we can see Machine sitting and preparing, with Dino, who is using a crossbow and shooting at a cross-like target. Tom compliments Machine, and Machine gets irritated. Tom gets suspicious, because vibe is weird. Dino didn't bring the women, and there are a lot of knives on the table. Car approaches, with Dino saying guests are here. He turns to Tom, pointing his crossbow at his head, and urging him to drop weapons. Suddenly, casting director approaches and says that he recognizes Tom. Director ties Tom to bed and punches him. Also, suddenly, out of nowhere, Mr. Longdale approaches, which shock Tom. Dino makes horrific comments about Tom's family, and Tom actually gets a bit scared. After that, Machine brings bloodied Max, tied up. Whoa, this scene is full of shocks. Machine then ties up Max to cross-like target. Mr. Longdale is sent by Dino to follow Tom to his car and retrieve snuff film. Mr. Longdale seems to be a sleazy person, only in power when power is given to him. Tom screams at Mr. Longdale for reasoning behind snuff film and is shocked about his carelessness about everything, not feeling guilty at all, since he is the one that ordered snuff for Mr. Christian. Mr. Longdale says that Mr. Christian ordered a snuff film because he could, and not for any other reason. Tom opens the trunk and gets the film, with something sharp in his hand. Max is still tied up, and Tom says that he will give Dino the film only if Max is released. After that, Machine cuts Max's throat, and they beat up Tom mercilessly. Dino to tape and mocks Tom. Tom is devastated and wants to die. Tom says something about $1 million given to Dino, and they all act surprised. Longdale is the one that gave them less money and took everything for him. Tom uses the chance to escape while they surround Longdale. As Longdale tells them to drop their weapons, Dino shoots him with the arrow, and Longdale, in retaliation, shoots Dino, effectively killing him. In the new confrontation, Tom stabs Machine, while casting director tries to get weapon. With only one bullet, he shoots his handcuffs and escapes. While driving away, Tom calls his wife and urges her to go to their vacation home. His wife doesn't understand, but obliges anyway. After his wife, he calls Ms. Christian and informs her about the girl and Longdale's involvement. Ms. Christian is visibly shaken and heartbroken. Tom arrives at vacation home and hugs his wife tightly. He ignores her questions, and she takes their child from his hands. She is shocked about his appearance and is scared about everything. Tom reassures her everything will be all right, and he tells her that he will fix everything. He goes to Ms. Christian's house, meeting her butler. Butler tells him that Ms. Christian killed herself, and she left 2 envelopes, one for Mary and one for Tom. Tom is visibly shaken. In Tom's envelope, there is a bunch of money and one sentence: "Try to forget us." Tom returns home, vengeful about everything. His wife tries to persuade him to stop, but he retaliates and leaves nonetheless. He goes back to LA to find casting director first. Casting director is already packing and is hit by Tom, ordering him to get on the ground, punching him in the process. He tries to extract information about Machine, but director says he doesn't know anything about him. Tom orders him to bring them to crime scene. They arrive, and it's just an old house. Tom still cannot wrap his head around why they did that to her. Director doesn't show any remorse towards that, and only makes Tom angrier by moment. He punches director, angrier by second. Tom's disturbed while he pieces information about the murder. Tom chokes director and ties him up. Tom points his gun at director, and director mocks him for having a soul and not wanting to shoot him, even with everything they did. Tom leaves and thinks about it for a moment. Tom calls Janet, informing her about Marianne's death. Janet is very heartbroken, and Tom is asking for permission to hurt them very bad. Janet, already heartbroken, gives Tom permission. Tom goes back and punches director's face in, visibly shaken about everything. He then burns the place down, along with all memories and director inside. Tom gets on a plane with 1,000-yard stare. He then tries to find Machine. He remembers that Machine was stabbed and hurt, and he calls most of the New York hospitals. He finds Machine's info very fast and walks to his house. He lives in a normal neighborhood with his old mother. Tom sneaks into his house with a silenced pistol and walks around trying to find Machine since he didn't left with his mother. He plays rock music to upset Tom and attacks him with a kitchen knife. He put on a mask so Tom doesn't recognize him. Tom punches him in the abdomen, where his stab wound is, and after a bit of fighting, Machne and Tom fall from a window. They fight on a graveyard, and Machine has an upper hand. Machine explains that he loves when his victims feel the pain. Tom stabs Machine in the shoulder and points his gun at him, ordering him to take off his mask. He is shocked when he sees that behind the mask isn't a monster, it's a normal human being named George. Tom doesn't understand anything, and while he's in shock, Machine takes the chance and attacks him. Tom kills him and is wounded. He goes to the hospital, falling out of his car. We see Tom after everything. He is shocked and has an empty look on his face. He gets a letter from Janet and is heartbroken. The end. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe because that means a lot for my channel. Write your recommendations for movies in comments. Enjoy the rest of your day.